I'm kind of surprised, to be perfectly honest. What Yuji has done, like it made sense the way that it was set up. I actually thought from a like duo strategic standpoint, it made a lot of sense, and I like how it was done. I was expecting Yuji though to get some form of power up, and I thought it was perfectly fine because he hasn't had anything fairly comparable to a power up. But also Mahito literally just got one, so I was like, well, he could have something. He doesn't need some brand new form, but if he could develop a new technique or just some new skill, I thought that would have been really neat to have. And this would be, in my opinion, would be a logical place to have it. Near the end of the arc, this is the main character's big fight this arc. There's a lot on it. Like I said, the bad guy just got like a power-up form, so I don't know. I figured this would be a really cool time to give Yuji something new, but I'm still fine with how this went down because it made sense, and I still think that's, again, important for it to happen. If they explain how Yuji got something new, I'd be again perfectly okay with that. Whereas here, I still thought it was fine the way that Akutami decided to have this fight end. But the way that it essentially went down is part of Mahito was starting to turn back, and he's like about like his like metamorphosis state and how he plans to use it and how he plans to go against fighting like Black Flash, like getting hit by one of Mahito or Yuji's moves, and he's like, okay, well, this is what I need to do in order to like deal with this hit and Black Flash and all these different things. But what it was actually Divergent Fist, and the way that it was is Yuji hit him and then had, you know, the way that Divergent Fist works, how it's like a second hit, it was a shortly more time delay, so it completely caught Mahito off guard. And this different attack that he wasn't used to getting hit by, that Yuji learned to control during his fight with Choso, like he gets hit and, you know, hits him again when he doesn't expect it, freaks him out. And right when that happens, he's already rattled by this technique. He didn't know what was going to happen. Here comes Yuji in for an attack, and here's Geto, again, another person with a technique that was really throwing Mahito off. He goes in to use his Boogie Woogie technique, and Mahito's like, okay, I'm ready for this. Goes to try and set up a dodge, goes for a counter, but Geto didn't actually use it. He's, you know, he pretty much just had his hand clap onto like the onto like his bloody stump. And my guess is, because the logic behind that was like, okay, well, what we thought was maybe it's the act of the clapping itself, or, you know, it has to do with kind of like how Edward Elric would, you know, do his clap alchemy, but it's like he's kind of like connecting the 2 points. And we saw Toto use it with clapping on Mahito's hand, so I'm guessing it's specifically 2 hands clapping. So after this, I wonder if they're going to be able to get him a new hand, or if he's going to evolve his technique beyond this, like he's got to slap his chest, or, you know, is he going to slap, you know, anything in general, because Geto going out would be really weird if he doesn't have some way to recover after this, because it would effectively write out his character. Not entirely, but like this is his big ability. He would have to develop something new, or, you know, figure out some form of way to compensate, essentially. And I would like him either to just kind of like evolve it into being able to do it without clapping, or just get a fake hand or something, because Toto, I like Toto a lot. His power is simple, but it works really well with Yuji. You have this super parkour martial artist, and you have this high level physical fighter who now combined with this guy, they're just all over the battlefield constantly. You don't know which one's going to be. Their movement and combination of their abilities works just so well together. I don't want Toto rather to be done. But right after that, Black Flash that they set up with distraction after distraction and catching Mahito off guard so many times, get to Black Flash, and again, and this he already knew that he was on low reserves, and now he's done. Like, he's knocked out of his power up form. And Yuji's just like, I'm gonna kill you. He's like, listen, you're right. You and I are very similar. I don't care. I don't care what you're like. I don't care what you're gonna do beyond this. I'm gonna kill you. It doesn't matter what you do. I'm gonna hunt you down and end you. Like, and Mahito knows now, like, he's in a bad spot and he could die here. So he starts fleeing. Oh, he's panicked. He's running away. And I think this makes sense with Mahito, because Mahito was designed and like born from the hatred that people have towards each other. He's made from the ugliness of like this, like humanity. He's made from that ugly side of humans. And so him having this very desperate, cowardly flee in the face of death, I thought was really well done. I thought it made sense. And it made Mahito again feel more human, because even though what he did here, he can look at it and it was in an act of desperation or cowardice, it's because he didn't want to die. And that was the thing, is not every character is going to be like, fine, I'm ready to accept my death honorably. No, he does not want to die. He doesn't want it to end. He wants to keep going. And I thought, again, that was just really, you know, it told us a lot about Mahito's character. It made him feel more like a person. It made him feel less like this energy-born construct of human negativity, kind of looking at it from the curse aspect and looked at more from the origin of that specific curse. And this chapter, like, I read through it really fast. Like, it, I hate to say like in a negative way, but it felt like a Bleach chapter, and just like how quickly you could go through it, and but at the same time understand what happened. And that's not a negative thing. It's just one of those chapters where even if it happens so fast, the meaning behind it is well worth the you know, the again, amount of time that it went through to get this, because you got a strong understanding of Mahito and Yuji's characters both in this. And I really liked the panel where it was like when Mahito was running and Yuji was after him, and it was like a rabbit running away from like a wolf in the snow, but it was done in a way that it wasn't like on the hunt. It was in an open field, and he's like trying just to get through there, and it's done in this way that it's like almost inevitable of the way that it's like the hunter hunting prey. But then Geto shows up at the end, and I know it's not entirely Geto unless Geto end up taking his body back over, or whatever the reveal is going forward after this, whether it's the brain invader or somehow Geto going over. Because also it's bad for Mei Mei, because it's like, well, what happened to Mei Mei? Is she alive still? Did she escape? What's going to be the reveal for her and her brother? I hope Akutami didn't kill her off. I like her. I don't want her to die. But him showing up means a couple things. Either Mahito should be able to escape this just fine if Geto helps him. A seemingly full power. I know it's the brain invader, but he's in Geto's body. He has his powers. Him seemingly like fresh and regenerate and energized. There's no way that anyone present other than Yuji switching with Sukuna should be able to stop him. Like if Yuji and Todo try and go against, you know, Brain Invader Geto or Geto, whoever this is, you know, regardless of this version, let's just assume it's the Brain Invader. It's easier to just assume it's the Brain Invader. Assuming it's the Brain Invader Geto, there's no way that Yuji and Todo could take him down. There's no way that they could stop him. They're both running low. They're beat up. They're running on fumes. They can't defeat this guy. So it's either Geto helps Mahito, Mahito escapes, or Geto kills Mahito and ends it kind of as just this, haha, I've got you, you're pathetic, and the merciless ending kind of way. There's potential for Mahito to either get that eradicated, unfortunate, pitiful demise, or he could get an escape and come again, you know, fighting again another day, learn a lot. I'm hoping he doesn't die, because I like the evolution and progress of Mahito's character, and I think this loss, this kind of like humiliating loss, can do a lot for his character. And he is like this curse that could eventually rival Sukuna, to where there's logically ways that I could see him dying but also living in this, which again is a really cool way, because it's not like he has to live or he has to die. It's really up in the air of what the plans are with Mahito is like way later on in the line of things. So I'm hyped. I can't wait to see what exactly Akutami has planned, because I like it either way. Again, there's logical potential for either saving or killing Mahito. And as much as I like Mahito, I could understand if they kill him, you know, as long as it's executed in a way that it makes sense. So looking forward to this next couple chapters, ending the Shibuya incident and going on to whatever the next step for Jujutsu Kaisen is. We don't know how long the series is going to be. We don't know how long we are like in the overall progression of things, and we're still like in a very strange placing after like how surprising aspects of this arc went. So I look forward to see whatever this kind of ends and really just takes the step in the next directions, regardless of what happens to Mahito and stuff. But other than that, comment below. Tell me your thoughts about this chapter. Tell me your thoughts about this, you know, everything that went down in this chapter, and how you think this fight went. I thought it having kind of more of a, meaningful kind of the way that it was depicted fight kind of ending, rather than just some really badass kind of, you know, more of like main character climax. It wasn't done in like Yuji gets a new technique, new power up form, some massive, no hiccup right there, some massive badass new technique or panel of like next level Yuji. Again, I would have been fine with that, but I'm fine with how this went as well, because it's more in root of like the characters on a personality and concept level. I think was still done really well. But anyway, other than that, I'll comment below, thumbs up the video, from the like button, subscribe button, check out my other videos. Rather than that, I appreciate everyone's already subscribed, and I'm trying to end this for 10 minutes. And thank you all, everyone's already listened and already subscribed. Thank you all. Bye.